Do not call anyone on earth your father, for you have one Father who is in heaven. These words from Jesus in Matthew 23 are often cited as a hard no on the concept of spiritual fatherhood. So, does the Apostle Paul contradict Jesus when he tells the Corinthians, "In Christ Jesus I became your father through the gospel"? The answer lies in the difference between a title used for ego and a relationship used for growth. Jesus wasn't banning the word father. He was banning the prideful heart that seeks to replace God's authority with human prestige. Today we're looking at what it truly means to be a spiritual father, a role defined not by a title, but by a sacrificial heart. The first mark of a spiritual father is spiritual maturity. This isn't just about how many Bible verses you've memorized. It's about experiential knowledge. As 1 John 2 says, they know him who is from the beginning. They aren't novices. They have weathered the storms of faith and have a proven character that aligns with the gospel. Unlike a teacher who speaks to a crowd, a spiritual father provides individualized attention. They invest their life into yours. They don't just give you information. They help you discover your calling. They build the doctrine of Christ into you while standing in the gap through constant prayer and intercession. There is a massive difference between a system and a soul. A teacher gives you a syllabus. A spiritual father gives you his life. This is individualized attention. A spiritual father doesn't give cookie-cutter advice. Because he has proven character, he can spot the lousy theology that often hides behind our emotions. When you feel like giving up, he isn't just reciting verses. He's sharing the scars that prove those verses are true. This is where we address the ego concern. A true spiritual father is a humble example. They don't seek glory, power, or money. In fact, they are often the first to admit their own mistakes. Their authority isn't about control. It's about compassionate care. Think of it as a spiritual covering, a protective, nurturing environment. Because they love you, they have the courage to discipline and correct. They help you curb pride and correct lousy theology, not to put you down, but to lift you up into God's truth. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the ego. Why do some people crave the title? In our social media-driven world, father can feel like a rank or a badge of power. But a true spiritual father is defined by the basin, not the throne. Think about accountability. A red flag in any ministry is a leader who is independent, someone who answers to no one. A real spiritual father is a son to someone else. He stays under authority because he knows that an uncovered leader is a dangerous one. That is the ultimate test. A dictator wants you to stay beneath them. A spiritual father wants you to stand on their shoulders. If someone demands to be called father for the sake of their own ego, they have missed the mark. A spiritual father is a servant. They are under authority themselves. They are not a dictator. They are a guide. So, does Paul override Jesus? No. Paul fulfills the spirit of Jesus' teaching by pointing his children toward the only true Father. Spiritual fatherhood is a tool, a bridge to help us grow into the image of Christ. Look for the fruit, not the title. A true father doesn't want your worship, they want your growth. So, to answer our opening question, is it appropriate to call someone father? If you are seeking a human to replace God's voice, the answer is no. If you are looking for a title to stroke someone's ego, the answer is never. But if you find a man who bleeds for your growth, who corrects you in love, and who points you relentlessly toward Christ, you haven't just found a leader. You've found a gift that the New Testament calls a father. Respect the relationship, honor the sacrifice, but always keep your eyes on the one in heaven, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name. It is all about Jesus.